Welcome to the nature island of Dominica. لحد كمي كلاتكم لحد كمي كنيهم أنا حوهم كيروس كاب travels with كيروس. باركس لما أنت لما بالسلام نبزيا nature island جبلوا دومينيكا تبع عدمتين عندنا بسلامتين عندنا كمزي تريود اللهم looks a lot of nature a lot of waterfalls like rainforests gardens and all kind of good stuff ስለዚህ ወሪድና ገለበለ ሁሉ ክንሪአይና ክሳብ መወዳእታ ብሓንሳብ ምንፅራሕ ኮንፊዝ ከይትገብርዋ ድማ ዶሚኒካ is not Dominica Republic ካለ ርእሱ ካለ ዓዲ እዩ or island ግን ኣብ ዶሚኒካ ኢና ዘለና ዝትሪእዋ ዘለኹም እዚኣ መርከብ ኣብዚ ከተማ ዋና ከተማ ናይ ዶሚኒካ ዋዞ ትበሃል ኣብ ዳንጌራ ደላ you don't need no tender ገለ ስዒልካ ሞጌርና ክንከይድ ኢና ማለት እዩ ኣብ ደገኻ እንታይ ከም ደጋጥመና ክንሪኦ ኢና ክሳብ መወዳእታ ብሓንሳብ ንፅናሕ እዚኣ ዓደቲ ፖፑሌሽን ናቶም like 73,000 people እዩ ደለዉ ኣብዚኣ ዋና ከተማ ዋዙ ድማ ዳርጋ I think 17,000 the population ስለዚ እንዲያውም ሞ ብሓንሳብ ንርአያ All right, we exiting the port. Port notes on Marcus. I'm sure he's going to take a picture of me.
Roseau.
Yeah.
Take a picture.
Welcome to Roseau.
Roseau.
Yeah, the beautiful island of Dominica.
Dominica, Republic.
Yeah.
Dominica. Come on. Woohoo, last one.
All right. The nature island. Huh?
Yeah.
Welcome to the nature island.
Welcome to Dominica, Roseau. Roseau, yeah.
Yeah, thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
All right. Oh, the cabinet barkas ajina lana bzana هي كنت ساعات الفران يا
Okay, good morning everybody.
Good morning.
2.5 hours or so together. Hope you don't mind. We're going to do basically Trafalgar scenic tour unless you want to walk up to the falls. It's up to you, okay? If you walk up to the falls, there's an entrance fee of $5 per person to go up to the platform. Alright?
Okay. Yeah, but if you want to keep the bus there while you walk up.
Yes,
I'll
be okay. We are now in Roseau, the capital, and this is the French Quarter. You notice the way the streets are designed. They're designed in the étoile style, moving up in different directions. Later on, we'll see the British grid system, where the streets just go straight up and across. Notice also the older houses, and what we try to do is to keep the ambience. The new buildings take the same shape of the older ones. La Rue La Place or Market Street, but it's been renamed to King George V Street. When the French gave over or were taken over by the French, by the British changed everything basically to English standard. We drive on the left, they named most of the streets after British royalty and generals and lords, etc. And most of the island has French and British neighbors, and also a few Kalinago. And Kalinagos were the indigenous people on the island. So this place was called Sayari by the Indians, Roseau by the French, and Roseau by the British. There are about 15,000 people living in the greater Roseau area and about 70,000 on the island. If you look on the right, you'll see people trying to sell things to make a living. We have what one may call a lot of unemployment here, but everybody finds a way to do something to make a living. Can you hear me at the back?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Look at the stuff we grow naturally on the island, okay? This is a relatively poor country, but poor only in that we do not have much dinner or much dry money, but we've got enough to feed ourselves for years and years on the island. So if we were cut off, we would find a way to survive because we got lots of food, lots of water, and the climate is very good. Yes, we do get a lot of rain sometimes, but nothing to write home about. Some landslides, a couple of hurricanes, but we are resilient and we bounce back.
Was a terrible hurricane in 2017, eh?
Yes, we did. And if you've seen the island then and looking at it now, you'll say that's not the same island because we've come back very, very well.
Good.
We do not have any large supermarkets or malls. This is basically it. You can buy anything there from a pin to a car, but none of this place where you just go and sit out and have a good time. The police and immigration department on the left. We have about 500 police on the island and about 19 outstations. Fortunately, there is no need for the police to keep wearing guns all the time.
Okay.
Up on the top, we've got the convent prep. And convent prep is an outshoot of the convent high school, which was the first secondary school on the island, run by Roman Catholics for girls. In 1893, and it's now grown to whatever you see there as a co-ed center. So the boys and girls now attend the Dominica Grammar School.
Okay.
This used to be a factory, Elliot and Company Lime Factory. The homes you see there were built for people who lost their homes during Hurricane Maria. The village of Bath Estate, an old sugarcane, then lime plantation. It was developed into a housing area in the early 60s. So you'll notice, if possible, that the homes are basically joined and looked alike. But once the people had finished paying for them, they began to renovate them and make their own designs out of them. That is on the left. But on the right is a totally new development. People built their own homes as they wanted them. I don't know if you've heard of breadfruits, but this is a breadfruit tree.
Breadfruit, yes.
Yep. Anything you can do with a potato, you can do with a breadfruit. And then when the breadfruit gets ripe, you can make smoothies, etc. with it because it gets sweet. don't pay for anything. The government takes care of everything, your food, your housing, etc. We are basically a community-oriented island.
So you watch.
Medical bills. We do not do big operations like transplants. For that, you have to leave the island, and most times you're going to pay for it yourself. Okay? Ahead of us, Mount Miko Trail. We've got 4 mountains over 4,000 feet, and this one is just about 4,017 feet. On the so we've got, as I said, lots of food on the island. Okay?
Yes.
And we, for a very long time, we basically lived off the land. Like, we had crops, but our crops were basically seasonal.
Right.
So maybe once a year or twice a year, you'd make some money. But in the meantime, we keep on living. Those are coconut trees, right? We use every part of the coconut tree. When it is young, you drink the water from the inside, and the little jelly, you scoop that. When it gets older, the little jelly becomes thicker. You use that for making oils, coconut animal feed, coconut candies, etc.
Okay.
And soaps. The branches you use for, we play cricket as a national sport. We use the bottom part of the branches to make cricket bats. The leaves you use for making mats, hats, and other things. In the middle of the rib, in the middle of the leaf, there's a rib we use for sweeping the ground. Okay? The coconut itself, there's a husk which we use for doing artwork, etc., or firewood. Yes. And there's a fiber you use for making mattresses or using as a sponge to wash dishes, etc.
Wow.
So everything in the coconut is used. The stumps are being used for making chairs, making furniture, or used as pillars together with bamboo when you're building homes. So everything is used. To God are all accessed. I want you to take a look at how our homes are built on the island. Especially since Hurricane Maria, people have begun building of the dragon, blood of the dragon, the purple flowers, or whatever color that is. I don't know colors. Coming up on the right, we will see something called the ginger lily. There is the most common. We are now in the village of Trafalgar. We do not have many wild animals. The two most common are something called an agouti, which looks like a guinea pig on steroid, or a small rabbit, and something called an opossum, which has a very long tail and it looks very much like a huge rat.
I'd love to see them.
Look at another house. See, the bottom is done. They've done the top. This thing out, right? Take out this pipe. Another thing that we used extensively in the past. At 125 feet, the one to the right is the Mother Falls at 75 feet. And from there you'll decide if you want to continue to go up to the falls or just continue going around, okay? Okay, you can take a little walk.
Oh, there, in the back.
The other one is blacker red, it's blacker red. But they usually bloom together. So this is your rock. This is the other part of the rock, and there's another piece of the rock on the top. Okay, so the bar drive. It's even closed today. In a little while we will come to see the river that flows.
This ride is kind of scary.
What you have to hope when you come over is that nobody's coming down, right?
Yes.
Okay, we are running a cable car to the boiling lake. Okay, and this is it right there. Okay, when you get up there, you will.
C'était sûrement une mangouste, quoi. Non, c'était trop gros pour une mangouste.
Guys, I made it to the top. Wow, عبدالات الناس exercise and everything. It's worth it. Look at the view. It's like $1 million view. Welcome to Dominica, the nature island. Yeah, man. This is amazing. رقم زيتري وهذا لهم مية ركباتنا rainy زي عدي they say they get about more than 300 something inch rain a day, I mean a year. ስለዚህ ሁሉ ጊዜ ማይ ደለው ዓዲ እዩ It's so beautiful though.
Because of the volcanic nature of the island, we've got sulfur springs in different areas. There are three main sulfur spring areas. This one is Waterwaven, down in the south at Sufria, and on the way to the Boiling Lake in the Valley of Desolation. So this
What on?
Bench. Yeah, bench.
Okay, the little bit is on the left. The little bit is just there. I'm going to pull ahead of this.
I know where to stay on the bus.
Yeah.
They call me the Sultanman.
Calling the Superman.
My money goes to the rent. The other half, quarter of it goes to the government. I said, no, it didn't make any sense.
Little bit of difference in weather, wasn't it?
Yeah, but the weather didn't bother me. Like, I didn't really care. Okay, they've trapped the water, and they have spas in there where you go into the hot water and bathe.
It's supposed to be healthy.
Yep, yep. Watten Waven. See this thing there over on the right?
Yes.
Let me find a better word for it. Okay, let's say those are not quite the same. Okay, up there. Those are dashin. The same thing, right? But dashin, it's a root crop. It's like a potato. It goes in the ground kind of thing.
Okay.
And then you cook it like a potato. So we have dashin, bananas, potatoes, yams, and fish. That's basically what we eat. Naturally, we go into the spaghetti and the rice also, right? But our main dishes, they have water all over this place. So some people have piped it down to the areas into different tubs and mixed it, some very hot, some warm, and some just tepid, okay? In the Botanic Gardens, which we call the Bamboo House.
Yep.
Okay, okay. Yellow house. It looks nice, secluded where it is.
What a nice spot.
Yep.
Trek to get there.
Like shelf,
Yeah.
that's because of the landslide. They don't want it coming down, so they shelve it so that it will drop by stages. And beyond it, around it, is a small village called Morne Prosper. Morne Prosper, or Prosper's Hill. Morne is our local or native language. It's a mixture of French, English, Spanish, African, and indigenous. So everything jumbled up, and we call it Creole. Many of our roads, you see, they're breaking up, right? Because all those roads were originally cut by hand as close to the edges of the mountain as possible, right? And when they expanded upon them with caterpillars, etc., they dug up more to the mountains, but the edges still remain susceptible to landslides. So this is the village of Copt Hall below us. Very nice houses, and places like Copt Hall, Elms Hall, River Estate, etc., they were all plantations, right? And after Hurricane David in 79, since they've been lying, they're not making any money anyway, they were divvied up and sold as housing areas. So those villages came in, most of those villages were post-David villages. Maria did a number on some of them, but for the most part, they've been rebuilt.
They're big homes.
Yep. People don't pay too much house taxes because as the island is small, if you move into this neighborhood, you don't want to come build a little copy house next to somebody's nice house, right?
Right.
This one didn't.
They're finished.
Yeah, that one didn't recover from the hurricane, right? But
They're not going to touch it, or
no,
who knows?
no. Because like insurance companies everywhere, and when you build a house, it's insured for, let's say, 200,000, right? But by the time it gets discharged, it's already worth 400,000 because you can't rebuild for what you built it 20 years ago. So they tell you, oh, the house was underinsured, you know? Small hotel.
Are there a lot of apartments for people to live in, or no?
People don't live in apartments
No?
very much. Most people build their own homes or they rent.
Or they
some
rent
of their-
homes.
yeah. That one, they rebuilding it after
Yeah.
the crashes.
Yeah.
Those people are waiting for the Mount Prospect bus to take them into town. Okay, this is going up. So we're going across the same river again. That's why somebody will tell you, oh, we've got 365 rivers. No, we don't. It's just a balance. Okay, this is the way we went up. in one spot on the island, you'll grow, right? But there is also something which grows whenever there is a movement of the earth, like a landslide, or even if you excavating some place and moving dirt around, there is something which always seems to grow out of that, and it is called castor oil. Castor, not the oil, but the castor plant. Okay, so there's a landslide, you clear the side, you dump the soil over here, or over there, or over here, and this thing grows out of it. This thing with a large leaf,
Right.
and there are some green pods which are on there. The pods eventually become darkish brown or light brown, and that is what they call the castor seed. You see the green right there?
Yes. A little puffy looking thing.
Right, and then you take that, and when it's dry, you boil it, or you pound it, you boil it, and the oil rises. And that oil is used for doing the hair, rubbing the skin, and if you can go to the toilet, you drink
Castor
that.
oil.
Yep,
Yes.
and then you go quickly to the toilet.
have that.
Yes, they have begun doing that. You see the castor oil? Just grows wildly. They've begun doing that in many of the villages, taking the old tires, painting them up, and
And
putting
using for
plants in them.
planting it.
Yeah, sure. Botanic Garden, the village of Elms Hall. The bridge was washed out. You could go through Elms Hall, but the bridge was washed out and wasn't rebuilt. University of the West Indies open campus. And every school has its own uniform, okay?
Yes.
The gardens were established between 1889 and 1891. They took out 40 acres of sugarcane to divide it into commercial and recreational area. They brought in plants from all over the tropical world and planted them in here. Okay, so everything in here is foreign to the island. Over the years, because of the wind, the birds, and transplanting, you find them all over the place now. But originally, they came from Singapore, Madagascar, South Africa, Peru, wherever, okay? We used to play cricket there, well, they still do, but this used to be our main stadium before they built gardens. Ahead of us there, the Brazilian rose, the rose of Brazil, the yellow one, Brazilian rose.
Very pretty.
Yep. And there you have the bamboo house. Remember I told you about the bamboo?
We were there.
Okay.
I remember it now.
We have what we call the talipot or the century palm. That's it over there. When it's about to die, it sends out huge antlers, like they call them inflorescence, like their antlers. Then the plant begins to die. So this is the commercial part of the gardens. I'm coming up on the right hand side. If I can, I'll stop for a minute while you take a look at a school bus which was donated by the Canadian government but had a baobab tree fall on it during Hurricane David. You see on the right, this African baobab falling on the school bus. The bus is dead, the tree keeps growing. There up ahead of us, we've got the banyan, or red ficus out of India.
Now.
If you allow this to grow, it will. Mongoose is where an old fort was built, one of the many forts built on the island when the French and the British were having their battles. But the guy who designed it was James Bruce, so he may have liked it better than the others. So he called this hill Mongoose, or Goose's Hill, and he called the fort Fort Bruce. We no longer have an army because the army tried to overthrow the government, so they were disbanded. But up there is being used as the police training center. So from Mongoose, you'll have about maybe 10 minutes or more, whatever you like.
Who's in a hurry?
To take pictures below you.
People do a lot of walking here, don't they?
Yes, they have no choice.
Yeah.
It's hilly, and you don't have a regular traffic, regular bus route.
Right.
So, besides it's more healthy and cost you less, right? couple days you'd learn. The roads have gotten very bad lately because we've been getting rain since December. So the potholes have been getting wider. That's a tamarind tree.
Tamarind, that's good, yes.
A few nice lawns or houses or yards on the left. That's where the dignitaries lived in the 19th century, 18th century. Water storage, Botanic, Catholic Center on the right, and the cashew nut tree, okay? Cashew nut tree right there. That's our national radio station. Across from it, our House of Parliament. National station, House of Parliament. Right next to it, you'll see a building which says RV. That's the Victoria building. And on the right, that's where our president lives. Our president is female, and she's also a local, like a Carinago, one of the indigenous people. We have a president who doesn't have much power. The power is vested in the prime minister.
Okay.
An old fort converted into a hotel, the leading hotel in Roseau.
Fort Young?
Yep. And this is the Anglican church, which was demolished again by Hurricane Maria. It was done in by Hurricane David, and they rebuilt it. Then Maria came and took it out again.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, my friend, what's your name?
Oh, my name is Glenda, and my store is Glenda Souvenir Store. I sell beautiful souvenirs, handmade craft, right here in Dominica.
Are you born and raised here in Dominica?
Born and raised on the island.
So what do you want to tell the people if they want to come visit the island?
Oh, come visit Dominica. It's a paradise, beautiful, and we have lovely souvenirs naturally made just for you.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, good people. More Dominica was really amazing. A lot of nature, a lot to see. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Time to go back to the ship, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Kiros from Travels with Kiros.